In today's day and time where patients are so knowledgeable even before they come to your office, they not only know what lens technologies are out there, they know what's been FDA approved, many of them are well traveled and they know what's happening in Europe, they have no second thoughts about traveling Europe or Asia to get something. I think it's very important for the ophthalmologists and eye care specialists also to be aware of what's happening not only in their fields but what's happening outside the country, in the world, because people are so savvy. It's important to know that. And then of course you have to address the outcomes at that level too. If patients are reading that certain technologies are working and why aren't you proposing those technologies, or why aren't you getting the results? Well, now there are certain diagnostics that add to your armamentarium. They're another shot in the arm for you as a surgeon or as an optometrist or another eye doctor who can sit down and go, here are the technologies, here's what will work for you, Mrs. Smith or Mr. Smith, and this is why. Like many cases I've discussed in my previous interviews here, is the patients with corneal scars that I do a lot of, to analyze how much is the cornea at fault, how much is the lens at fault, how to combine. Then also, what's the sequence? This is very important. A number of surgeons have called me and said, Doctor, we did certain sequences and it didn't work. Well, you have to plan the sequence by measurements. You can't just go into the eye, do a cataract, and then come out and scratch your head going, what do I do with the cornea now? It's got RK or scars or whatever. It's important. So I recently gave an interview in Ophthalmology Times. I call that inside out, outside in technique. Meaning, don't enter the eye and do cataract surgery if you're not sure of the measurements of your cornea. Whatever the reason for that cornea be, keratoconus, RK, scars, whatever. Make it sensible first, meaning measurable. Whatever you have to do for that, laser, Intacs, lamellar transplant, whatever, make it sensible, measurable, now enter the sacred eye with accuracy so you do a great job. Opposite's true, it's called the inside-out technique, where you would do cataract surgery, make the patient myopic as you come out, because you know you can deal with that myopic astigmatism irregular with laser PRK. So again, now you have a whole plethora of patients banging on your doors with these conditions, and you're equipped to take care of them, because with the OPD you can actually break down each element, decide also your sequence. So in all my previous cases that you will see in these interviews, I've talked about, it's so simple if you look at every endpoint as visual, not as a start point of surgery, but as an endpoint of vision. For example, I say this, imagine how you're going to look even before you start dressing. That's what puts the pressure on you. If you just start dressing for the heck of it and you just put things together, you will look like whatever happens at the end of it. But if you look at or have something in your mind, today this is how I've got to look, or I've got to present this color, now you work backwards from there. Same with vision. A patient has a certain desire for vision, you've decided that that's the correct visual endpoint for the patient. That's important because you're a surgeon, you're a doctor. You don't necessarily give options, you prescribe the best pathway. That's another important point I want to talk about here. As somebody who sees patients who are unhappy with their surgeons, I think it's vital that the surgeon be confident in what they're doing. Making a mistake is not an issue, we're all human. The point is to guide the patient in the right direction and then stand by that with your own confidence that you will deliver. So that's vital. So along that point, if we talk about endpoints for patients with vision, I think the OPD again becomes your tool, your armamentarium, a team player where you go, Mrs. Smith, I'm going to do for you a staged procedure and here's my sequence and here's why.